80%. And guess what? The employees are happy because your average copay in this country is around 40 bucks. This costs you $10 a month. Looks like something you might like?
Yeah.
See, now this is the kind of value add that we're bringing to our corporate wellness program. These are the types of relationships. This is the #4 telemedicine company in the country. They have almost 2 million people on this program. And now they've partnered with ID Life, and the great thing is, go look at how much it is for everybody else. This is actually a website. It's called ID Life Telemedicine, just for our ID Life associates. How about that? So remember, this is all about the brand. This is all about building that little blue guy. Okay? If nothing else, remember that. That's what we're trying to do with our wellness program. That's what we're trying to do with our RBCs. We're trying to build awareness for him. So let's look at some of the resources that you have in your back office ready to go. There's tons of them. We have all kinds of things ready for you. So let's go through the details. This is in your back office. How to get started and how to get connected with a corporate wellness program. 6 steps. Let's go through each one. Starts with the first one, which is this. Read your ID report. The average person in this room spends 15.9 seconds, I know, on your report. Print it off and read it. Why is it important for you to read it? How can you explain the power of what is involved in it if you don't know what it says about you? Everybody understand that?
Yep.
Because I can tell you now, if you read this, you're going to learn a couple of things about ID Life. One, there's not a single recommendation anywhere in that report, and it's telling you how to improve your health, that recommends an ID Life product. Not a single one. The second thing is this. There's going to be some changes coming very soon. We're going to make sure that you're reading your report. In fact, you're probably going to find out about those tomorrow. Because ultimately it's this. We can't make you do anything, but I can definitely dangle a carrot to make sure that you want to. And ID Life, guess what? We're always going to do what's right for the consumer. We're always going to do what's right for the person first. And the best thing that we can do for you is for you to educate yourself about yourself. Because you're making choices right now that you don't even realize are having an effect on your health. You may have put in your assessment that you suffer from hypertension. But you may have also answered that you eat processed meats on a regular basis. And if you knew that the consumption of processed meats has a direct correlation to your hypertension, you might not do it as often. But if you didn't read your report, you don't know that. Full of that kind of information. By the way, Paul updated me, just so you know, we're no longer at 4,000 algorithms, we're now at over 5,400. Second thing, you want to make sure that the person that you're talking to actually looks at their report. How are they going to look at their report? They have to actually take the assessment. Now what's interesting is this, you know, when people set up the call for us to have a conversation about corporate wellness, if it's myself or Michelle or Claire or Robbie or any of us, one of the first questions we always ask is this: have they taken the assessment? And we always hear, oh, absolutely. And about 40% of the time when I get on the phone, guess what the first question is I ask? Have you taken the assessment? And usually the answer is no. Don't know what that is. You're hurting yourself. You get one shot with companies. Okay, one shot. Why is taking the assessment so important? They know the power of what we have. The conversations when somebody's taking the assessment are about 20 minutes. The conversations when they have never taken the assessment are about 45 minutes to an hour, and they always end the same way. Okay, well, let me take that assessment thing you were talking about, and I'll call you back. Mm-hmm. You want to know how many times we get called back? No. Not very many. People are busy. You get one shot. Take the time to make sure they've seen the assessment. Take the time to make sure they've done the assessment, and then show them the power of the assessment by showing them their own report. Walk it through with them. All right, third step, or part of that same step, actually. We have this website for you. cw.idlife.com. It's a test website. You can show them exactly what their corporate website is going to look like. You notice one thing about it, it does not have an opportunity attached to it. It has home, products, and ID transformation. That's it. This is available to you. You can show them everything right there. You need recommendation letters? They're in your back office. We have 2. You know, Dr. Lou is become a corporate wellness expert in Connecticut. At first, he was a board-certified orthopedic surgeon, and now he's a corporate wellness expert. You don't believe me? Just look at his schedule. It seems like he's talking to people all the time. You know, he went to a town, North Haven, Connecticut, and said, "Hey, we have this great program. I'd like to tell you about it." And they said, "Great, we want to do it." And they said, "Well, you know, okay, fine, but you know, at what level do you want to do it?" They said, "Oh, the whole city. School, fire, police, urgent care, everybody." Do you know the average in this country right now, Anthem, Blue Cross Blue Shield, is raising medical rates 12 to 17%. This program was in place for about 6 months. They got a 3.2% reduction on their medical spend. That's unheard of. That's unheard of. In fact, the first selectmen, we call them mayors in Texas, same thing, wrote this letter basically for that purpose. To basically say what our program is and what it can do. So when you need somebody and you need something, or you're talking to somebody saying, "Oh yeah, but you know, what do they know? What, you know, do they know what they're talking about?" You have these things in your back office ready for you. Okay, let's talk about the human resources brochure. You're talking to an HR professional. They're like, "Yeah, but what kind of information do they provide?" We have a complete brochure. You notice there's not a lot in there about ID Life. In fact, I even wrote a legal compliance thing for them to make sure that their corporate wellness program, when they implement it, is actually legally compliant. Why did we do this? Because we wanted to give the information to the human resource professional so that they could actually understand what corporate wellness was, because we presume that they do. A lot of times they don't. Because a lot of times they have the same type of corporate wellness program that a lot of companies in this country have, which is this: "Yes, I have one." How does it work? It doesn't. The average in this country is 8% participation. 8%. ID Life's percentage is 72%. Why is it so high? Because we actually give the individual information that they want to use. It's about themselves. If in this room I told you, "Hey, I'm going to spend the next hour telling you all about myself," half of you are going to fall asleep, the other half are going to leave. But if I told you I'm going to spend the next hour teaching you about yourself, and you're going to learn something that you didn't know about you, all of you are going to stay seated. See how that works? So let's talk about the next resource that we have. We do an individualized employee guide for every single employee that comes in our corporate wellness program. It's detailed. Has all kinds of educational information. A lot of the stuff that we've covered today, a lot of other things. And most importantly, the company gets to choose what they want the program to be about. They want general health, weight loss, smoking cessation, you name it. We will do partnerships with the greatest organizations there are. American Heart, American Diabetes, you name it. We will become partners with them because we want to bring the information to people. Because remember, what is the purpose of the program? Change the 6 inches between their ears to affect the 40 inches around their waist. This is not a fad. This is not a diet. This is actual education. If you're not interested in changing the way that you think, guess what? Why start? Because science has proven this: if you're going to yo-yo diet, you'll actually live 3.4 years less than if you just stayed the way that you are. Everybody catch that one? 3.4 years less by yo-yo dieting. If you want to make a real change, we're here to help. Marketing materials. We make them all customized to the company. We provide them what they need to support them along the way. The 4th step: watch the webinar. Why do we want them to watch the webinar? And we are going to be updating it because of what's coming tomorrow. It needs updating. So we will be updating it. It will be 20 to 30 minutes. That's it. So it's easy to watch. But why do we want them to watch the webinar? Same reason we want them to take the assessment. We want to get all of the headway out of place so that they have questions rather than us having to educate them on what it is and how it works. Because then we can talk about what? The why. And if we can focus on the why, guess what? We're going to have a lot more success than if we focus on the what and the how. Everybody understand that? Okay. 5th step: email. You can email corporate, or you can call corporate. You can call the customer advocates. What's in the email? There's your information. It's on the form. It's real simple. You send that information and we take it from there. Okay? Step 6, we're going to do a 3-way call. On that three-way call, you're going to edify whoever it is on the phone as the expert. You're going to let them talk. You're going to hit mute. If you continue to talk, guess what happens? I did not accidentally hang up or get disconnected. I did it on purpose. Okay? Why? You've edified us. Let us be the champion. Ultimately, though, guess what? Remember that symbiotic relationship? You're going to have something to do after that call. You are still the champion of the program. Okay? There are going to be things that we are going to provide for you to do. There's going to be things that we're going to handle. But ultimately, you are that champion. You do have that relationship. A lot of times, the most successful programs or most successful phone calls end like this. I hang up, Robbie hangs up. We don't hear anything. 15 minutes later, the person calls us up and says, hey, I just called them back to see what they thought. They're really fired up. All they want is this, this, and this. They were afraid to say it on the phone. Because ultimately, when we have these conversations, the person on the other end of the phone that's for the company has to pretend they know what this is. And they have to pretend like they know how these things work. And I can tell you now, most don't. And with that information, what can we do? We can actually provide them something so that they can go to their boss and look like they not only know what it is, now they actually know how it works and they know why they want to use it. You see the power of that? Mm-hmm. It's changing things. Then there's the process. This is where it starts. Again, this takes time. Can you tell I was a litigator for 20 years? You know, I always joke that, one of the greatest things about being a litigator is you have to learn how to teach 12 people in a box that were not smart enough to get off the jury very complex issues. If you want to know how to get off a jury, come talk to me later, civil or criminal, I can teach you how to do that. But in reality, that's part of it. It does take time. It is a process. And I want to make sure everyone understands all the steps along the way. The RBC program. This one's pretty simple. You have somebody that actually has a retail establishment. Actual storefront. Okay? The first thing you're going to do is you're going to pull out your memory jogger. Again, that is in your success planner. You know people with businesses you don't even realize have businesses, or you've forgotten that they do. And most importantly, you've already prejudged the fact that they wouldn't be interested in ID Life because, well, they don't sell supplements. But guess what? That company that you're looking at and you're thinking about that you know, while they might not be in the market of selling ID Life, they very well may be in the market for a corporate wellness program. Because some of the most impactful corporate wellness programs we have in this company are the 5 employees, not the 5,000. Because think about it for a second. You own a car shop. You have certain cars that have to be done by a certain time. One of your mechanics gets sick and they're out for 4 days. You promise somebody their car on a certain day. What happens? You either stay late or you get somebody else to, and now you're paying somebody time and a half and you're also having to pay the guy that's out. See the impact on a small company? You don't have to swing for fences. The other thing is, if you want to build this business, you cannot focus on RBCs and corporate wellness programs. You have to build the traditional business. These are bonuses. These are added benefits. These are people that you know. This is things that can help you. Will this eventually happen? Yes. Does it take time for people to actually start adopting the products into the program? Absolutely it does. Because we're talking information first. Everybody understand that part? Mm-hmm. Okay. Second, your action plan for RBCs. Teach yourself about the company you're going to talk to. If you walk in the door and all you are is me, ID Life, ID Life, ID Life, you think they're going to listen. But if you walk in and you say, hey, I was noticing some of the things that you posted recently about your company, and I saw that you were doing this, this, and this, and I saw the pictures that you had of your charitable efforts. How would you like to incorporate corporate wellness into your charitable efforts so that you can support them and get your employees healthy at the same time? Notice how that's a little bit different conversation? Now they know what? They know you care. Now they care what you know. Everybody understand that part? Mm-hmm. It's a different approach, but I want to make sure everyone understands. You have to know who you're talking to. Again, there's an RBC website. If you want to show people what it is, rbc.idlife.com. That's your test site. That's what you can go and show people what it'll look like. And use your resources. Your upline, your Robbie Nicholson. Now, I will tell you, Robbie is recovering from a medical procedure. That's the reason he's not here this weekend. But, he's raring to go. He wants to help. I've never seen somebody with a bigger heart. You know, he will work tirelessly to make sure that you have the information that you need and do everything that he needs to.